Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pizzapia. With me, as always, is the Welsh, and it's you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks. And if you notice, Glitchy Joe, he's dead. We killed him. We found a way, thank goodness. Michael Calley and John, our producers, the backhand here, figured out a way to get the gremlins out of whatever was going on in my computer.
Just when we got the emoji, we got the glitch emoji, which Calley just put in the chat.
It's April Fool's. I could just pretend to glitch, right? After all,
I'm so sick of April Fools. I hate April Fools.
I hate it as a sports person because all you see all day is the stupidest memes of this person got traded. Oh, this person. You know what? I almost thought the Jurickson Profara news was April Fool's a little early and somebody went out there, but that turned out to be true. We're going to break down that. Also, some other people are using the Torpedo bats. We're going to get to all of that. Elly Cruz's big day. Before we do, we got free stuff to give away. The winner of the John Smoltz jersey is officially there. It is Jorge Gonzalez. Jorge, congratulations. Please get in touch with our customer support agents at mailbag@fantasypros.com with your mailing address, proof of your subscription to the Fantasy Pros MLB YouTube channel. Yeah, and we'll be shipping that out to you right away. Again, Jorge Gonzalez, congratulations. You're the big winner. Again, mailbag@fantasypros.com. And with one giveaway going away, another one takes its place. We're giving away a signed Nico Hoerner Cubs jersey for free, courtesy of our friends at pristineauction.com. All you have to do this time is to subscribe to the Fantasy Pros MLB YouTube channel right now. Drop a comment below on this or any video. That's it. And we'll be announcing the winner right here on the podcast. So make sure you ring that bell for notifications. Turn those bad boys on so you don't miss a single moment of fantasy baseball goodness. And we can let you know that you're the big winner of the Nico Hoerner jersey. Very exciting times here, Welsh. Let's get to the headlines because it was a bad day for the Braves. Jurickson Profara, 80-game suspension, testing positive. I guess now we know why they signed Verdugo. I think they knew this was coming down the pike. I'm just telling you. And then Reynaldo Lopez goes on the IL. Bryce Elder gets called up. So Elder, Verdugo, any of those guys worth adding? And what does it mean for those folks who drafted Jurickson Profara? Just dropping him to the wire, I assume.
Yeah, so Profara, I saw this news yesterday when I was doing ITL show as well. And I was like, I don't believe you. I'm not going to fall for this the day before April Fools. And then Mike DePortis was on Twitter was starting to put it out. But then about an hour later, Passon and them ran with it. HCG, it's a masking agent that hides the steroids. And it was a Manny Ramirez thing. Suspended for 80 games. You can cut them. See ya. I don't think you need to hold out and especially have that hostage roster spot taken for, half of the season. When he comes back, he's going to be relevant. You can cut his ass. Cheater. See ya. Bye-bye. Verdugo, clearly, I kind of agree with you. I think they knew that this was coming at some point in the year, and they signed Verdugo because it didn't really make a lot of sense when you had Brian De La Cruz and you had Jared Kelnick out there. So I think they'll continue to roll out some version of a platoon. While Acuna's out, I think Verdugo can play some more. I don't think there's a ton of fantasy value. You'll have a La Cruz Kelnick platoon that's going to go out there. I don't think there's a ton of value. You're going to hate this, Joe. I think Michael Harris is the biggest beneficiary because he's going to move up the lineup. He led off yesterday. I think you're going to see him leading off more. That might be a slight little uptick, but the guys that are replacing, there's nothing that I'm down for with the Braves. Just another little slap.
Yeah, I think you might see Acuna's timetable moved up just a tad too. Just saying. I think that's
maybe
lock too. Yeah, keep an eye out for that. Let's take a couple questions here. Let's go to MS. What do you do with Jackson Jobe after the first start? Command looked meh, possibly tipping pitches. Look, you know what you're getting into with these young kids. They got a lot of upside, but sometimes it takes a while. To me, if you're panicking already about Jobe, then you didn't know what you were getting into. I would then wait for a good start and deal him. That's what I would do because he's going to have limitations anyway. Jackson Jobe, any thoughts about what you saw of his first start?
I don't know if you can just deal. I mean, if you can deal him, great. That's awesome. I think he's kind of free. I think that's why people are wondering. I think it's more about should I kick him to the wire and, go with some streaming options? If someone like Jeffrey Springs were out there, I'd absolutely do it. But if you've listened to me at all for a long time, since over a year and a half ago, I talked about seeing him in the AFL. There's one thing that he does consistently is that he is not like a backwards pitcher. You kind of know what's coming. He pitches to counts. He's adding more pitches in. He was 38% fastball, 29% cutter, changeup. He didn't really go with the curveball a whole bunch. I think it was okay. It was his first start. I'm not going absolutely nuts. The changeup had good whiffs. The cutter had good whiffs, but he's kind of like, you know who he is, and he's not super sneaky pitcher. So I think he's going to run a 4 ERA this season. I think the strikeouts will be okay. I think he's a streamer pitcher. So my answer would be is if there's a nice streamer out there, I would go with it. I mean, we're going to talk about him, but like, I don't know, Chris Bubik yesterday looked really good. So I'd be
we're going to get to the moving off. We're going to get to the Bubala in just a moment here. Red Sox and Garrett Crochet in agreement on a 6-year, $170 million contract. Gee, I feel like we just talked about this yesterday, didn't we? We talked about the possibility of, hey, maybe you deal Devers and you end up extending Crochet or extending Campbell or Roman Anthony, right? My goodness, this is why you watch Leading Off. This is why you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we're getting real close to 25,000. So make sure you subscribe today. Also, Elly De La Cruz's big day, his big day out, 4 for 5, 2 homers, a double, 7 ribbies, a steal. 14-3 was the final score against the Rangers, but Elly was using the Torpedo bat. I'm excited because you know I love Elly and I've got Elly shares, so this was good for me. Do you think now that Elly had this big day that you're going to see a lot more Torpedo bats in the pipeline by the weekend?
Oh, that's already happening. I will still stand to this. I'm shocked that that many people are becoming like more noticed on it as players, because players have been using it. They actually interviewed the MIT guy. He works for the Marlins now yesterday, and he had said they've been working on this for 2 years. Lots of players have known about it, but they've been trying to perfect it. And then as you're seeing this big public success, then orders are going through every single broadcast I watched yesterday. And I watched a bunch of different games clicking through. Every single one was talking about how ... players were putting in an order for Torpedo bats. By Friday, by this weekend, everybody that is on the initial run is going to have a Torpedo bat. My biggest stance on this, I think it's great for baseball. Elly, there's obviously a benefit. One thing I keep holding to, and I'm dying to talk to some pitchers about this, how are pitchers going to bounce back? How are they going to adjust to the barrel being in a different spot? Is it going to change to pitch mixes? Is there a certain type of pitch you want to throw more to kind of counteract that for maybe more ground balls? I don't know, but Elly went off and the superstars continue to go off. This is why at one point I had Elly at like 3 on my overall list. Love him. Took him 4 across the board. He is disgusting. And I almost bet him for my home run call yesterday. I still got a homer, but I would be on the board today.
I bet him yesterday. Yeah. My advice to everybody out there: bet the overs on games where Torpedo bats are because.
Well, but we don't know. That's the other thing. We need like a Torpedo bat.
We know where the Yankees are.
Well, we know the Yankees.
Yeah. Right now, I think it's 8.5 today. I'm just saying. A couple other things here. Yeah, we should have a Torpedo bat tracker. That's a fun one from B over here. I love the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks are on fire today in the chat. This is why you're with us on Twitch, twitch.tv/FantasyPros. We're live every day at noon, hanging out with you guys, talking baseball. Let's get to some more Jose Ramirez. This was really good news. He was in the lineup on Monday. 3 for 4, and he had a home run. I mean, so if you were worried, no worries. Everything's fine. Carson Kelly had himself a good day too. Hit for the cycle, so that's a fun thing. Cubs scored 18 runs in that one. A good day from Kyle Tucker. And then the Dodgers, unfortunately, had a little mishap with Freddie Freeman. And that mishap is in quotes, according to Dave Roberts. So he was getting into the shower on Saturday, and he tweaked a surgically repaired ankle. It's funny you say that, because with the help of AI technology, I have a little insight as to what went on. So let's throw the pictures up here and show you. So here was Freddie Freeman in the shower. Here's what he was doing there. As you could see, it looks like he was hanging out in some sort of small pool of soap. And then
he's being sucked into the abyss. That's like Drag Me Down to Hell, like was it Sam Raimi movie? Very interesting that, I think everyone's going to focus on the left picture. If you're listening on the podcast, definitely come and look at this. The left picture, he's in his jersey, and that's everyone's going to be, why is he in his jersey? Here's a better question. Why are his pants rolled up with the jersey and the pants on?
The baseball pants sometimes
being
are shorter,
sucked into the event. It's a bidet. It's also a bidet, by the way. Look at the spout coming up.
It is, but the other fun thing is you could see in picture number 2 that once he fell, the water continued and obviously it deteriorated his jersey into his flesh, which is very disturbing.
Yeah,
so
and now it's become shorts.
Mishap.
His pants are becoming short. He looks like Chris Evans a little bit.
There's a Chris Evans quality. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
So
This is
shout out
horrible.
to Freddie Freeman. Hope he gets better soon. Let's shout out some of the people, some new subs today. Welsh, who do you see on the new sub wagon here on our Twitch stream?
Well, we got a lot of new followers in here going ballistic. Mincy, RJ. I know RJ. Jag as a Tommy Lasorda, very A+.
I know
name.
Tommy.
Yeah, Mike Tommy Goose. Lasorda. And shout out to our boy Cooper V, subscribed using Prime. Absolutely free for him. Gets rid of ads, supports us. He linked his Prime account to Twitch, which everybody can do. And also when you do that, you can make home run calls. Boom. Exactly right.
All right, let's go to under the radar guys here. Jake Magnum, great name. 4 for 4, 2 ribbies, 2 steals on Monday. So he's filling in for Josh Lowe on the IL for the Rays. David Peterson, 9 strikeouts for him. Now, Peterson was a guy, and I wrote up in the Black Book this year when I write up the pitcher profiles. And I really liked when I started to dig into the deeper metrics and I went back and watched some of the starts too. And I was like, I think David Peterson, if they just left him alone for 30 starts, he could be a really viable middle of the rotation fantasy starter. And so far, it's the Marlins lineup. We could talk about that all we want. It's not a great lineup, but still a very encouraging first outing and a good spring for Peterson as well. Also, another one of my favorite under the radar pitchers in draft season, Brady Singer, great start. 7 innings against the Rangers, struck out 8 against the Reds. Otto Lopez, also in that same game with the Mets. Obviously,
very
the
good.
Mets put on a lot of noise there, but 3 for 5, 2 homers. So I saw somebody earlier asking about Otto Lopez. I did see you. I was saving it for now. Otto Lopez, there you go. 12-team Cats got 2 IL spots. Kirby, my other, should I hold on to Lopez? I think you do. And I also think, Lopez is a guy that at this stage, Welsh, you probably want to be picking up because second base is weak. I'm not saying he's going to hit for massive power. That's not really his profile, but he does have 2 home runs already.
Yeah, I mean, I got this question yesterday where it was Polanco or Otto Lopez. I leaned Polanco. I still kind of do, even though their offense has been But if you're talking about short-term production right now, he's there. He's absolutely there because he's leading on, or he's hitting cleanup for the Marlins. Like he's hitting in a prime spot. We saw that with Andres Jimenez as well. So I think Otto Lopez is definitely a speculative pickup. My problem is I'm not sure the sustainability on it for the entire season. And there are a few guys out there that I think might be really interesting to pick up, but I'm totally down with it. We're in a struggle bus right now. People are like, I don't want to wait 3 days for Michael Toglia. Should I cut him and pick up Gavin Sheets? That's like a big one out there. If injuries are kind of hitting, I think Otto Lopez is a really good speculative bat, but I would have a quicker trigger finger getting out from under him. Kind of believe in Polanco a little bit more, but love the spot. And these weird cleanup-y type of guys that are hitting 4, like Andres Jimenez, these contact hitters, they're RBI opportunities. And to credit, the Marlins are playing a little bit better. So I would go Otto Lopez. See, there's a good question Cooper just said. Otto Lopez or Luis Rengifo? I want Rengifo for the season. Yeah. There's a very small, short sample size of Otto Lopez, but is Otto Lopez worth it if you've got an open middle infield spot? Absolutely, but I'm not cutting Rengifo for it.
We just had an update here, looks like from Mike Mayer, where he's saying that they're going in Discord, Torpedo bat home runs as half a home run. He's going to now count it as, because Mike Mayer is, he's very strict about things. So if you get a Torpedo bat home run, it's not going to be a full home run, according to Mike Mayer. This is outrageous. I think everybody in the chat should boo Mike Mayer. If you are not happy with this decision, right now you leave things in the hands of Mike Mayer. This is what happens. Boo this man.
Do the Kurt Angle chant. You suck.
Yeah.
You suck. Just do
look
that.
At
Everybody.
Look at the boos flying in already. I love it. Boo that man. Boo him hard. Guys, it's April Fool's joke.
I barely could go along with it. It made me so mad. I could barely go along with that Mayer wanted to do. You know what? Boo Mike Mayer for wanting to do an April Fool's joke on this show. Anyway. Boo that.
Just boo Mike Mayer on principle. All right, 3 up and 3 down. Chris Boo Vic. Shout out the Brewers. 6 innings, struck out 8. Our Boobala looking really good here. Tyler Glasnow, 8 strikeouts of his own over 5 scoreless innings against the Braves. And Pete Alonso, big day, 2 for 4 with a grand slam on Monday. 10-4, an absolute blowout of the Marlins. So really good stuff there. The Mets offense starting to wake up a little bit. They had tons of stranded runners in that Houston series. So they faced Sandy Alcantara today. Might be a little tougher, but it's good to see that Mets offense doing well. But Boobala is the one I want to talk to. I want to talk about that guy for a moment because He's probably available, I would imagine, on most waiver wires still. I'll get the percentage exactly where he is, but talk to me about what your expectations are for him and this Royals rotation that, look, it's gotten off to kind of a rocky start. Reagan's wasn't at his best. So where are you at with the Bubala?
Yeah, Chris Bubich. Couple things, which really interesting. I've got a little ITL Twitch as well, that I was streaming on, and I was streaming during this match, like it's a tennis match during this game, and watching Bubich. Really, really impressed with the pitch mix as well, because like he's heavier fastball, but he's got two different versions of a slider. He was throwing his changeup. He did it all 10% or more of the time, but because of the secondaries, the fat and the command on the fastball, he ended up getting a 44% whiff rate on his fastball. He had 11 whiffs on 25 swings. Everybody was behind on the counts. He was throwing 93 here, pinpointing corners. Didn't have really great, awesome whiff or called strike rates on the secondaries, but those ended up setting up the fastball. Now, I don't think the fastball, the whiff percentage is something maintainable. We don't see that in a lot of starting pitch. It's very unique that that's the dominant thing. But it was the command with the pitch mix and kind of pitching from behind that I was really, really impressed with. Brewers are a little bit of a disaster right now. Offense, obviously, like Churio is swinging through everything.
They'll figure
Yeah,
it out.
I suppose. But like the Royals have done a really good job in some of their pitching development. They did the cutter stuff with Cole Reagans. Fastballs are ticking up a lot in their development. I think Bubich is a streamer, but B might be a guy to potentially hold on to. And I don't think I'm going to be comfortable putting him out there versus Torpedo Yankees or maybe even an Astros. But when you're getting these type of matchup, like a Pirates or a Mariners or something like that, I really like Chris Bubich right now. So yeah, I'm glad we talked about him.
And somebody mentioned in the chat, I was going to mention it, but they beat me to it. Qualifies at RP. Guess the roster percentage on CBS of him.
Well, I just saw somebody put the ESPN one.
Well, the ESPN doesn't count because everything's free over there and everything's insane.
Do you want me to actually? Is this rhetorical?
Guess what the paid leagues are? Paid leagues.
I would say
for roster percentage,
15%.
66%, actually much higher than I thought.
Okay. Yeah. And CBS always runs higher rates because if a guy is starting, everybody picks him up
ESPN
and they cut him.
number?
9%. So I think it's probably close. It's closer to like a 20% in more standard leagues. Again, I don't think you go and cut him and someone's like, oh, Bailey Ober, he sucked. No, don't do that. But like Bubich is definitely, I was very impressed with the start. And I think I would roll. Yeah, 21%. There you go.
All right. Brick has a question. What's the leading off schedule? I'll tell you what the leading off schedule is. It's Monday through Friday here on Twitch Live, Monday through Friday on our YouTube video on demand. So it's very easy. You can follow us to watch us live every day, noon Eastern, right here on the Twitch. Twitch.tv/FantasyPros, or if you don't have time to do that, video on demand. There you go on YouTube. Also, 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow and every Wednesday on the YouTube channel, we'll be live just taking your questions.
Right.
So if you've got trades, you've got drop ad questions, waiver questions about your life and the afterlife, who knows? We'll answer those questions for you. So join us again tomorrow on the YouTube channel, 4 p.m. Eastern, for our live Q&A with all of you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks.
Those quarter zips are fire, by the way. Huck Finn. Those that was actually a company gift from Fantasy Pros when we did our big company meetup. We got those. They are one of the best things that I own now, and we did a photo shoot in those. So Huck, you are correct. Fire quarter zips.
Welsh, is this true? There was a call up for the Pirates just now?
There was. It happened just a tiny bit ago. So speaking, we're doing the 3 up. How about let's do a physical up? Very funny because I just talked about this yesterday on the prospect side. We were talking about the must-owns in Bubba Chandler, but there's one guy that could put a wrinkle into it, and Thomas Harrington was called up. So that's actually our big first real call up here. Thomas Harrington is called up for the start today. There was a rumor preseason that with the Jared Jones injury in a short term, they might bring up Harrington before Bubba Chandler to let him get a little bit more seasoning, but he's going to be in there. Pretty interesting strikeout props, only at 3.5. And, he's going to be going up against that Rays team. So that's kind of is Rays or Marlins now that I'm forgetting, but Thomas Harrington, good fastball, really good slider, good splitter. There's some decent strikeout potential. Last season, big numbers, had a pretty good spring. He's kind of a 9K per 9 type of guy, runs a low ERA. He's in the pitching factory of the Pirates. he's kind of streamable. Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
Rays here. So
100%.
he is kind of streamable
Yeah, it's the Rays,
today.
'cause the
And
Mets
the
are playing New
low,
Orleans.
the low prop number is very interesting to me. Rookies are kind of scary sometimes, but like Thomas Harrington, I think Bubba Chandler's more explosive. Maybe this pushes back the timeline just a tiny bit for Bubba Chandler, but this did happen. Thomas Harrington up. I think you could potentially stream. And like Positive just said, would you drop Job for Harrington in a points league? Yeah, I think they're in the general space. Here's the only
They're in
problem.
the same universe. I wouldn't drop Job.
I have not seen, so caveat this, I have not seen if they've given us any information about what this is about. Is this a one-off spot start? Are they going to give him potential to stay in the rotation? Sometimes they'll just throw a guy out, let him get a start, and kick him to the curb. That is a possibility. But like I said before, I don't think Job is especially in a points league. I think he's like a stream / maybe hold. I drop him for Bubich. I drop him for
way
Harrington.
more of an asset value, when you're looking at potential, like even if you don't like him on your roster, somebody else is going to like that upside.
True.
Captain Morgan, not sure if you talked about it yet, but how about Jordan Hicks and season long? Also first Twitch stream and new to fantasy baseball this year. Loving the content. Thanks, Captain Morgan.
Thanks,
appreciate you. Hicks was a guy that I was in on last year, if you recall, and it was a good beginning of the season for Jordan Hicks. I knew he was going to have limitations converting as a reliever. You knew he was going to be a 5-inning pitcher guy, and you knew that once you hit 3 months in the season, he was going to turn into a pumpkin, and he did. Do you have different expectations for him this season after that full year of starting? Again, maybe some limitations in that division too, facing a lot of Padres, facing a lot of Dodgers. Those aren't necessarily the best matchups for you.
I'm not the biggest Jordan Hicks guy. Reliever, I watched him when he was a Cardinal in the AFL. That was a guy that was touching 102. He's dialed that back. His sinker did in this last start hit 100. He was sitting 98. So it's, it's big. I loosely, when I say fastball, I'm referring to the sinker and the four seam. And then he rocks that sweeper where he had a 50% whiff rate on the sweeper. My only problem is he's like kind of a 2-pitch pitcher. It's like it's the fastball version and it's a sweeper. He's had pretty dominant command issues or negative command issues like over his career, but he's in a really hitter-friendly environment. It's a tough division. I also think Jordan Hicks is just on the positive side of streamers. I think there's like the positive side of streamers. There's like maybes and then there's hard passes. I think Hicks is somewhere in between and the positives are guys that you can hold on to for a little bit, but I personally am not super long-term optimistic on Jordan
like
Hicks.
as a streamer in a deeper league, I think it's okay. This is like a 15-team league guy, not necessarily a 12.
Like if he's
Hicks
pitching at home versus Colorado, like give me Jordan.
That's different.
Jordan
Right,
Hicks
that's a
there,
streamer.
sure.
Bubich or Hicks. It's Bubich for me.
Bubich, long-term,
yeah. All the Bobula. All right, let's go on here to the downs. We got the ups. Kumar Rocker, yikes, he got rocked 6 runs in 3 innings. They get this guy all over the place. Emerson Hancock also got rocked yesterday, 6 runs and 2/3 innings.
Paddock also got rocked. You didn't put him on there, but Chris Paddock got obliterated by the White Sox, who the White Sox were no-hitting the Twins through 6 innings. Chris Paddock looked like trash. He hit his fastball. Everyone's like, his fastball's up early in the games. Fastball was up in the first inning, dialed it back down. Garbage. Rocker, garbage. Hancock, the biggest garbage.
Yeah. Also garbage. Rafael Devers goes to 0 for 19, 15 strikeouts. When will it stop, Welsh? That is the question. When will it stop? Dylan Cruz 0 for 4 with 2 more strikeouts as well. So who gets right first? Devers or Cruz?
Wait, which Cruz? Which Cruz?
Dylan Cruz.
I would say
not Terry Cruz.
Devers. Well, I've O'Neal Cruz in my head. I get Devers.
Wrong spelling.
Who's panicked? Who's panicked about Rafael Devers right now? I think that's a big concern.
I think we're gonna do the first trade video after this show's over. So watch that on the YouTube channel because we're going to talk about the value of Devers and I've got feelings about it. So I know we got other agendas today. We're going to talk about Devers, but Cruz being a prospect guy.
Cruz might be sent down. Cruz might get sent down.
I think we're worried about that. I don't think he should be because the Nationals have nothing to gain by doing that, but it's going to be a tough situation there. So those are the downs. And if you want to turn your personal down into an up, right, you should start trying out Kaisertrex. Maybe if lately something feels off, fatigue, lingering, recovery takes too long, your performance isn't what it used to be, and you can't afford a torpedo bat. Well, guess what? These might be signs of low testosterone, a condition affecting about 30% of adult men in America. And Kaisertrex is an FDA-approved testosterone replacement therapy designed for men just like you. It's not an injection. It's not a gel. It's a twice-daily pill that fits seamlessly into your active lifestyle, helping restore your testosterone levels to optimal. And don't let low T hold you back. Visit Kaisertrex.com to learn more and find a provider near you that can help you get started today. That's KYZATREX.com. By prescription only, Kaisertrex is a controlled substance and it can be a target of abuse, so don't abuse it. All right. It's not for use for pregnant women. I don't know why you'd want to use it in the first place. That seems like a terrible idea. Or men with prostate or breast cancer. Don't use it either. They told me this is going to get shorter over the time, but let's do it. We're here.
That's
here with all the
Kaisertrex.
safety
It's
things.
getting longer.
That's the whole point of the Kaisertrex in the first place. Tell your doctor about all medical conditions and medications. Serious side effects could include increased blood pressure, worsening prostate symptoms, increased risk of prostate cancer, blood clots in the legs or lungs, decreased sperm count, liver problems, enlarged or painful breasts, and breathing problems while you sleep. Common side effects, though: swelling of the ankles, feet, or body, increased red blood cell count, increase in prostate-specific antigen or PSA levels. PSA is a test to detect prostate cancer, so report those symptoms to your doctor if you have any problems using the Kaisertrex. But call your doctor to learn more about Kaisertrex, what it can do for you. For questions, for more information, visit www.kaisertrex.com or call 833-949-5040 today. That's how you get your ups from your downs. All right. Woo. There you go. Hey, look, if you love the Kaisertrex read, stick around, baby. You wait till you see what else we got coming
There
up.
more Kaisertrex and Chris Paddock.
We love our sponsors here. All right. You want to get your hard hit rate up? You take the Kaisertrex. That's what you do. Let's talk about some injuries. Sean Murphy will begin a rehab assignment with AAA Gwinnett on Tuesday. Gunnar Henderson on the IL with intercostal strain is expected to return when eligible. That's Thursday.
Yes.
Gleyber Torres to the 10-day IL with the oblique strain, so we'll see him in a couple of weeks. And CES Christian Encarnacion Strand day-to-day with a hand contusion. So Gunnar Henderson coming back eligible Thursday. This is a huge win here. Very excited for this return. And fantasy managers, look, you've been patient for about a week now, right, to start the season. There you go. Gunnar Henderson on his way back. That's good news.
Any discounts you got is phenomenal. I'm super excited about this. I've got him in my tout league. I didn't put him in. It's a weekly, it's a draft and hold, and you have to set the weekly lineup, and there's none of that like flip into Friday. If you could flip into Friday, perfect to get him out there. I didn't start him for the week, but Gunnar coming back is going to be huge for that offense. And I want to point out, Jordan Westberg has been smashing the ball. We're seeing great early numbers from him, but he's also hitting 3 for this team. He continues hitting 3, and you've got Gunnar sitting up at the top. There is a phenomenal fantasy value. Jordan Westberg is another beneficiary of it. And Joe is just seeing the comments after that Kaisertrex clearly.
The comments about look, they've promised us they're going to shorten the read. I said, look, it's a little long. The show is only about 35-40 minutes every day. But it's a medical read, so you've got to have certain things in there, right? It's like just like in the gambling reads and things like that. There's certain things about 1-800-GAMBLER. There's legal things are real. I actually kind of, now that I've done it here on the show, I kind of want it to be a little longer. I feel like we could do another 2 or 3 minutes on the Kaisertrex.
I don't, but yeah, that's good.
I don't know, but that's what Kaisertrex is good. If you want to last another 2 or 3 minutes, Kaisertrex. Just saying. All right,
play a game. What's longer? The reader.
Let's get to our best bets of the day. It was a good day for betting yesterday. Christopher Sanchez, 7 strikeouts, just got it. Welsh had it. I had it. Welsh was 3-0 yesterday. I had my little parlay too with the Phillies in the win. Cha-ching. He also got his home run call yesterday. We'll get to that in a second. But remember, if you're placing your bets, new customers, you can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets when you go to fantasypros.com/leadingoff over on FanDuel. Again, that's fantasypros.com/leadingoff. New customers get $5 bet in there. You get 200 in bonus bets if you win today. Keeping it simple. Give me the Braves on the money line to finally defeat the Dodgers, the evil empire. You got May on the other side. Freddie Freeman's hurt. I grabbed this one early because of the Freeman issue, because they haven't lost yet. Chris Sale is great. This is the perfect situation, a mismatch of the pitchers where the Dodgers finally take an L here. And I think it's from the Atlanta Braves. So give me the Dodgers today on the money line, plus 136. Also, love Bobby Witt today. As you mentioned before, the Brewers have all kinds of issues. So I'm going to take advantage of it. I was watching some Bobby Witt at-bats. He looks so solid right now. Just hitting balls hard all over the place. Bobby Witt over 1.5 total bases, minus 115. Now, Welsh, I know you didn't love the slate today, but we were able to coerce you through a couple bets.
Yeah, that's a behind the scenes thing. Everyone's like, "Do you have your bets? Do you have your bets?" And I was just like, I did it last night. I did the work here. I don't love the slate. I think there's really, if you ended up wanting to kind of avoid it, as I mentioned, am coming off of a bad opening weekend. I got my eyes were too big for my stomach in the betting world, and it was bad. But I've honed things in. Perfect 3-0 yesterday. And if you hit that home run call, it was 2.5 to 1. But I did pick a couple bets that I do really like, even though there are no slipped J's in the names. I hit the Sanchez strikeout number and the under total bases. So thank you for putting that, Callie. But the bets that I've got today, Toronto, Washington, total runs. We've got Barrios back up on the board. We've got Trevor Williams. Really also the offenses. Toronto's offense. I love Bichette at the top and Vladdy being able to get to them. Also Washington's offense at the top, where you've got Abrams and you've got James Wood, who's looking good. Nate Lowe. Like, there's some really interesting names in there at 8.5. I like the over. We're getting a lot more offense. Texas run line minus 1.5. The Reds offense has been really good. Eovaldi has been, or at least was really solid in that first start. They got Carson Spears in there. I think the Rangers are going to get to him offensively, and Nate Eovaldi is going to avoid the torpedo bat. We'll see. And Corbin Carroll. We're going to go Corbin Carroll. Total bases 1.5 in this one. We got Will Warren on the mound for the Yankees. First off, offense. Diamondbacks are definitely going to score on the offensive side, as will the Yankees. But Corbin Burns is on the mound, so I didn't want to, go with any total runs. But Corbin Carroll's been absolutely smashing the ball, not getting big results, but he's hitting just under 300. He has actually cashed this total base in 3 of 4 games already. One was a 2-hit game. He had doubles in the other games. You got Will Warren, who's going to pitch to a bit more contact, and we're getting huge hard hit numbers. So I like Corbin Carroll. Total bases 1.5. There are some books out there that it's close to 1.5 to 1. So I like the Corbin Carroll total bases 1.5. But again, I will preface, I'm not in love with the slate. If something changes, I will connect it on Betting Pros. You can follow me and Joey, and something will get out there, but I don't think it will. I don't want to touch Chris Sale or Michael King or any of the strikeout props stink today.
Yeah,
Sixto Sanchez.
I think the best way to say it is not a lot of value on the slate today. Like, it's just not. So therefore, just keep it simple today. Look for some. Keep it simple, stupid. And if these are the comments in the Twitch, I can't wait to see the YouTube comments today. I'm just saying, like, it's magnificent.
So did you see South Africa right there? He's like, Joe, everyone could hear you. I don't know if you knew this. Everyone could hear you giggling as I was trying to be in serious breakdown.
And they're so funny. Some of them are really good. By the way, if it looks like a torpedo bat, that might be that Peyronie's disease. You got to go get that looked at. I'm just saying, like, get it looked at. All right, let's get to the home run board because obviously we've got home runs to talk about. And if you want to get your home runs called, go to our Discord, fantasypros.com/chat. That's the place to be for all the latest when it comes to home run calls. And Welsh, you can see right now. Look,
why am I not on the board?
Up to 6. Welsh is at 2, but 2 is not good enough to break the top 20 right now. So I got 0 still, so I'm far behind. I better get on the board soon, otherwise bad things will happen. But this is what happened last year too. I think I went like 2 weeks without calling a home run, and then it just went red hot. So I'm a slow starter on this contest. I'm not worried at all. Sammy Sosa,
Kaiser Tricks can help with that, though, Joe.
That's what I hear. If you're a slow starter, you get it up. All right, let's get to the home run calls.
Oh no, did we lose Joe? Did we lose Joe? Is it puppet time? Or is this me?
I don't know. It might be me. That's all I can tell.
Puppet Joe is ready to chop. We can hear you now, Joe, but we can't see me, so I couldn't. Yeah, we can't. Well, the board is on, but I was going to.
Well, let's take the board off. Okay. Well, I don't know what happened there. So temporary insanity.
Hey yo,
relax. Put that away. Let's get a home run call. All right, Bobby Witt plus 400. That's where I'm going here for mine. I'm sticking with the Bobby Witt Jr. today, although I wish it was anybody but Eovaldi today because I would be all in on Elly De La Cruz with the new bat. That being said, Eovaldi is a very good pitcher. I'm going to just wait on that. But if Elly goes yard, I'm never going to forgive myself. I'm going to be miserable tomorrow. Welsh, where are you going for your home run call?
Man, it is so tough when that happens to you too, because like
Yeah.
I don't know if it's me, and I wanted to start puppet joeing. So thank you for everybody in this time of a very difficult time for me where I didn't get to do a full puppet Joe there. I'm gonna go with Corbin Carroll on this one. Like Mayor said, keep the Corbin Carrolls up for me. If you want to bet it, by the way, plus 600 today. It's a 6-1 on it. The total bases are there. I will say there's a really interesting discrepancy in some of the books. I saw one book at almost 1.5 to 1 on the total bases. One was even money. Again, Will Warren, Corbin Carroll is hitting the ball super, super hard. Ketel Marte might be a good bet, but I'm going to just roll with my boy, Corbin Carroll, at the tippy top for my home run. Get him on the board and get me on the board is what we're looking for. And shout out to Wild and Wonderful subscribing on Prime right before we end this bad boy, Joe. Hey, you!
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Joe!
Look, I don't know what happened there. It was a moment in time, but I didn't freeze at all really until then. So
people are learning about we have a puppet Joe emoji. It's me with the puppet
emotes.
next to it's beautiful.
Any other shout outs today before we call it a day of some new people who joined us during the show today? Because
lots
I
of
feel
people.
like we're hot today.
Yeah, a couple subs. Like I said, Wild and Wonderful. We had Beef was in there. A couple guys subscribed. I will say, heavy on the subscribing with Prime. Take advantage of it if you guys have not done that before. Just connect your Prime to Twitch. You can then sub with us, get rid of ads, get you on the home run board. And you want to know another little fun, cool thing? If you are someone that bounces around on Twitch, you can take our emojis into other Twitch streams. You can use our goofy emojis of Fantasy Pros and Puppet Joe and all that, or it's really Welsh, but Puppet Joe. You can use those in other chats. So subscribe with Prime. Thank you to everybody. And I think some of the most live watchers we've had all season so far. So thank you so much.
Also, if you're going to take a shower today, don't be like Freddie Freeman. Be very careful. You want to get that mat down there. If it's in the bathtub, it's a little slippery there. Don't be doing any aerial gymnastics there. Question though, serious question before we go out here on Freddie Freeman. Are you worried that the body's just breaking down a little bit? Because I feel like that's where we're at with him. It was clear with Max Scherzer a couple years ago, right? Like 3 years ago that's what was starting to happen.
Yeah.
Are we getting closer to that with Freddie Freeman? I fear that we are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to let his shower be the dictator of being like, his body is breaking down.
I'm talking about last season. Look, I know he had a rough year with his family stuff. Freddie Freeman's just the aces, man. He's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
I love Freddie Freeman. He's a Brave that I love, and now he's a Dodger that I love. I mean, how hard it is to be both of those things and have me still love you. It's very difficult.
But any hitter over 35, every hitter, every player over 35, I'm concerned about it, especially everyday players. It's definitely something to watch. I'm a little bit of a fade on him this year. It's a super awesome offense, but you're in the space where they're probably like, we need to get 130 games out of Freddie this season, and they want to save him for the playoffs. It's a little Laker-esque with like LeBron, like the Dodgers can do that.
Yeah, look, you could do that stuff. Now, listen, tomorrow you want your questions answered, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, join us 4 p.m. Eastern for the Q&A. We'll be there live. Ring that bell for notifications too. And who knows, if you comment on this stream, you just might win that Nico Horner jersey. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on for the Welsh. I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.
Bye-bye. Hey, yo!
I loved the Muppets when I was a kid. The Great Muppet Caper is one of the great films ever made. Period. End of story. Charles Grodin serenading a pig, operatic style, is
I don't even know what that is.
In film.
Don't know what it is.
You need to watch it. You never saw the Great Muppet Caper? What's wrong with you?
You're like Freddie